Imagine this. One of your best friends is getting married, woo, and her event is going to be an open air event in Miami, Florida. I'm pretty sure, just imagining that, you're like, what the hell am I going to do with my makeup? It's going to completely melt off. So I got you, boo, and today I'm going to teach you how to make your makeup heat and sweat resistant. Roll the intro. The first thing we're going to do is get all of this hair out of my face. Very necessary step, even though it's not part of this tutorial. These are the Creaseless hair clips. I got these from Aliexpress. They're great. It's so nice to be able to have, for once in my life, a pin that just takes my fringe / bangs away from my face, and then I don't have a weird wave there that I need to fix. It's perfect. Everyone needs this in their life. So the first step is basically skincare. Here I have my latest favorite. It is the Strength Trainer by Henriksen, and it's very nice and rich. I bought this in my last trip to Italy, and I've been using it non-stop. There's a huge dip in here. I just like take it. My hands are washed with the tip of my fingernail, and I just spread it on my face like this. And the reason why it's important to start with your skincare is because without good skincare, no makeup is going to stick to your face, right? And this is also going to help us in a different way, which you will see in a second. But basically, because it got absorbed so quickly, I'm adding another step, though this is a step I use very often. This is the Vitamin Enriched Face Base by Bobbi Brown. It is such a good base for makeup. It's just very, very moisturizing, and it almost acts like some type of primer. It's just more of the moisturizing type. And I do want to show that moisture in order to teach you this little trick. There will be links for everything down below. Do not worry, and of course most of them, if not all of them, are going to be affiliated links. So by buying from these links, you're basically supporting the channel. So thank you so much in advance. You don't need to pay more by buying through those links. So thank you so much. And the last step in the first step is going to be another Henriksen. It's the Banana Bright Eye Cream. What I love about this, especially for when you're doing your makeup, is that it does have a yellow tint to it, and there's some mica in the product itself. So it really does slightly color correct your under eye and brightens it in a visible way too, not just by hydrating the skin. So that's a very cool trick, and it's very good for actual no makeup days, because it does have something that is a little bit makeup-y to it, just very slight. And since I'm not a baby anymore, then my skin got much drier than it used to be, but we can still see which areas tend to be less dry in the face, and those are the areas that are going to sweat first when your makeup starts breaking apart. It's obviously in the areas that sweat the most. So by putting this skincare, we can see better which areas are more dry, because those areas are just like sucking up all of the moisture, and the areas that are more prone to sweat are going to still be a little bit shiny at this moment in time. So I'm looking at my face. Yeah, mostly here, the nose area. These areas are probably going to be the ones that will sweat first. But you can also just go according to, I know I sweat really, really bad around my nose, above my upper lip, etc. And just go according to that too. But if you're like not sure, this is a good way to look at it, because if it's still a little bit shiny, that's your more troubled spot, and that's where you need to focus our second step. Our second step is shockingly powder. You heard me correctly. We're going to put powder on our face as kind of like the first makeup-y thing that we put on it. That is where we're going to have basically a barrier between where we're sweating. Sweat is, you know, liquids coming out with some sebum, so it means that it comes out with some oiliness, and that's why it breaks the makeup. So if we're going to put a barrier between the two, it's going to just help the longevity of our makeup. So I'm just taking this powder, which I love. It is the Bye Bye Pores by IT Cosmetics. It's an amazing blurring powder. I will first saturate the troubled zones with this puff, and later I'll just like dust off the rest with a brush. So now I'm just taking what's left with just a nice big powder brush and just go really lightly, basically all over the face. It's like hardly anything, but it's still something, because we're probably not going to sweat that much in the areas that sucked up our moisturizer. Now we're moving to the third step, which is setting spray. And please make sure that you are actually using a setting spray, not like a hydrating spray, because that isn't going to help us create that barrier between our skin and the makeup. So I'm using one that I've been liking a lot lately. It's the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist by e.l.f. We're going to spray it all over the face. And that's the end of the third step. Just let it dry. And now we're moving to our fourth and last step. And that is finally primer. And I'm, of course, using this amazing mix of primer and SPF in the same product. It's the Unseen Sunscreen by Supergoop. And we're just going to put it all over the face. You can use any primer you like, depending on your skin needs, basically. What I like about this one is that it does blur your pores really nicely because it is a silicone-y type, and therefore makeup glides on it way better. And you also are protected very well from the sun. I can put a little bit here. And that's it. Now your makeup is totally heat-proof, sweat-proof. It's going to last so much longer during the day. But don't forget to also add setting spray at the end of your entire makeup application. It's going to make a world of a difference. I hope you liked the video and that you're going to give it a try. I would love to know, where are you from in the world, and is it hot where you're at? And please tell me if you're going to try this trick. If you already tried it, write it down in the comments. I would love to hear how that worked for you. Beyond that, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like, ring the bell, all those good stuff. It really helps me out. And again, if you want to purchase any of the products that were mentioned, all of them will be listed in the info box below. I love you so, so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, babes.